What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the third episode of Talentless Now. Now, this one's titled Talented versus Talentless, which is interesting because last title that we had for this, which was Time Traveler, mainly focused around a specific individual. Was his name Yohei? Was that his name? Yeah, Yohei Shibusawa. He had time-traveling capabilities as long as it was in the past 24 hours. And depending on how far back he could go and how long was based on like his stamina. So there were limits to his power, but he could ultimately do it in different varying forms. And that was a very powerful ability to have, especially when it came to the mystery of where Munou disappeared to all of a sudden. Like, he's got this confidence, he's going to become their leader, and then all of a sudden he's now gone. And Nana, trying to clear herself of suspicion, is going to take him out next. And we do successfully take him out by tricking him into coming over to where the frozen lake was from before, putting dirt over it, so he thought he was just on regular land. But when he went back in time, he would fall into the water, and then he would try and come straight back, not realizing that he would be just coming straight back into solid ice, essentially. Which raises a question of the time traveling. Like, if you were to travel into somewhere that's suddenly occupied, how does that actually work? They're implying here that he teleported back into it and would be crushed or encased in ice, and he took up the physical space that he would have been taking up anyway. Although I imagine he'd be flopping around on the surface, right? So surely some of it would be sticking up out of the surface, but whatever. We're not going to go into specifics of that one, because that felt honestly rushed. And as far as this show goes, that was definitely a weaker episode than the first one. The first one had the advantage of the ultimate twist that they showcased, which was a very interesting one, and made me question, like, okay, what are they doing with this show here? As to our main character's motivations, which ultimately aren't even her own. She's been tasked by some council. I forget what the name of it was. I don't know if we did get a name of who it was. But they see these talented humans as a danger to regular society, and are thinking it's just better to get rid of all of them, and then we don't have to worry about them being a problem. Although it does raise the question, how do these people come into existence? Was it just a finite amount that suddenly sprung up? Are we still getting new ones? Because if we're still getting new talented, as it were, this is a never-ending cycle that's eventually we're going to have to permanently be trying to execute them silently without anyone knowing. It's like, the longer this goes on, the more likely it's going to be found out, right? So, I mean, take this for example. We've killed 2 people off so far, and we've already got, what's his name, Kyoya? Yeah, Kyoya Onodera. He's already incredibly suspicious of Nana. And the fact that he was grabbing her hair like that and saying, oh, it reminds me of a sister, I think that's part of his power. I don't know what his power is yet, but that felt substantial. And the fact that he's taken such an interest makes me think he's more important of a character. I don't think he's just going to die that quickly. I feel like he's going to be a long-running antagonist. Like, here's the thing. Who is an antagonist in this series? Who's the protagonist? Like, do we want to root for Nana? Is she doing the right thing? Is she being manipulated by the higher-ups to do something that ultimately is bad for humanity? Like, who is in the right here? You can make an argument for both, but it's conflicting like that. It makes you think, who are we meant to root for? Are we meant to be rooting for Nana? Or are we meant to be rooting for Kyoya and the rest of the students? It's interesting. This show has me on that. That's what's making this show interesting, is that there is ambiguity in who's right, who's wrong, and where the show will end up. So, this episode, Talented vs. Talentless, I have no clue what they might be doing here. Maybe it's more Kyoya stuff, maybe it's because Talented vs. Talentless is a very generic title. It doesn't pertain to any one individual character we've met. So that makes me think maybe we're not specifically targeting and killing off someone here, or if we are, that's not the main focus of the episode. That's what I'm thinking so far. But let's just get into the episode because I don't want to waste too much time. I've got a lot of videos to do today still, and yeah, I'm really interested to see where they want to go with this one. So, as per usual, these are time-based format reactions. Bottom left of the screen here, go see time for the episode. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, play. Then I'll play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. Watch this one on Funimation as per usual, so where it's licensed here UK US, links to that is in the description. We've got the Funimation logo to start, and then that's it. I'll call that out as it goes past. For those of you who skip ahead, it's about 7 seconds of logo. You can use the screen glare, or screen flash I should say, on my face or on the mic arm to tell when the scene has transitioned. So, with all that said, let's just get into episode 3, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Funimation. Voice already giving up today, apparently. Alright. Yep, Kyoyo's investigating. Let me guess, it's the watch glinting. What's his power going to be then? Oh, he just calmly jumped down. Interesting. And OP time. 90% is the watch that he sees sparkling down there. 90%. I mean, they focused so much on that damn watch in the first episode. Either it was just product placement or it actually had relevance. I mean, this OP clearly puts them as main rivals, doesn't it? We're also implying something happened in her childhood. We had explosion, we had a camera thing, zombies, test scores. I assume we're hinting at various ways that these characters are being killed off in the OP. Looks like we had a drowning, straight stabbing. I'm guessing those are the ones that are going to end up surviving, but we'll see. Be impressive if they get rid of all of them. Does none of them have an umbrella? Right. You're acting pretty quickly. Okay. Suspicion's being placed on him for it. Oh boy. Okay. Oh. Okay. Jesus Christ. Dude's drenched. Yeah, they're setting him up as her main rival. And she's prying now. She sees him as an issue. Gathering intel. Why are you going into the shed with milk? Let me guess, you're taking care of an animal in there. Probably a cat if it's milk, let's be real. Let me guess, protecting or sheltering a cat. Maybe there's a stray that lives here. %100% looking after a cat. Even warms up the milk. Nice. I guess it's a cold day, so that's probably helpful. Hmm. He's still got the seaweed on there. Hmm. Huh. Huh. Hmm. What's it gonna be like? Oh shit! Wow. Okay. It's kind of relatable. Very much. Was it Bomberman? Fair enough. Retro games are really good. Simple, not bloated with microtransactions and gacha systems. That thing is creepy as all fuck. Okay, it's not quite Bomberman, it's something different. Uh-huh. Similarities are easier than weaknesses, for sure. Um, it's a fair assessment. Does he know what an F-boy is? Does he even know what that means? He doesn't know. He's completely oblivious. I love it. Yeah. I don't know what to think of him now. I mean, yeah. Huh. We've mentioned, yes. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. Right. That look. Well. Yeah, it's all just lax. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I don't know how much of this is a lie, though. It's definitely embellished, but. Uh-huh. I feel a parallel being drawn here. Wow. It's the watch. It's the watch. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. How much of his attitude here was an act? Hmm. Interesting. That's why he was touching her hair? Yeah. Interesting. That's just a tick of his. Get with the kid. So it must happen on the night of the 13th. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This wasn't broken. Oh, and then you came across it. And that's how he found it. Mm-hmm. So that's the time it was. I didn't even think about the time on the watch. Although, yeah, you can't tell what, because it's not digital, you can't tell morning or day. Morning or evening, actually. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Like, so little is known because they don't exist. Yeah, he's thinking things through a lot. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know how much of this is him being honest and straightforward with her, or if this is all part of his plan as well. Because he's been suspicious of her since the day she transferred in. Oh, sure. Hmm. 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 Sure. But what is his talent? Yeah. He let her off the hook though with the talent thing. Like if he pushed her on that, what could she have said? Unknown. Kill count. Okay. Physical talent type. Okay. And it's just predictions. Okay. Powers can evolve. Oh shit. Jesus Christ. FAE bombs? What's that abbreviate to? Right. Rather than having to level a city every time you found one. Right. Mm-hmm. They're very... limitations, okay. Right. Alright, we're gonna plan to take him out. Okay, so this isn't necessary to kill him, but... Mm-hmm. Oh, how convenient. How convenient. Mm-hmm. Right. Hmm. So the cat is the trap. Oh, we can see his vision. Mm-hmm. Yep. Is he buying milk again? Yes, he is. 20XX, yeah. Off he goes. Okay, so... this is absolutely her trap. What is her trap? He's really questioning everything. I love it. And there's another one missing as well that you don't have anything on. And here she is. What is her trap? Mm-hmm. Oh no. Oh no. He heats the milk up. He heats the milk up. I have a terrible feeling. Oh no. Please. Please do it. Please tell me this is what you're planning. Well, this one might. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna get to it this episode. Come on, please. Please let me be right. Please let... I'm waiting. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. He has a poor sense of smell, so he wouldn't smell the gas. Yes. I'm so glad. Oh, the cat's fine. Phew. Okay. Cat's fine. He doesn't have a sense of smell. Or he has a very poor sense of smell. That's genius. That's a very flamboyant way of taking someone out. Of course, you were the first one here. He's not dead. There's no way he's dead. We spent too much time on him. Mm-hmm. Hmm. 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 He's perfect counter to her. Ho ho. Just straight invincible. Interesting. He just doesn't have a sense of smell. This is amazing. I love this. Okay. And into ED. Cut his perspective as well. Never mind. Okay. We now have a worthy opponent to her. We now have someone that can actually stand some semblance of a chance. I don't know how much he actually thinks it is her, though. Like, he can put all the pieces together. He knows it's just how much of it is coincidence versus actually what he thinks. I think he's intentionally keeping an open mind, though. Just in case. Because that's the smart thing to do. You don't just... As soon as you have one conclusion that seems to work, you don't just immediately say, that's it. You think about it, but keep your mind open for something else, just so you don't get biased towards one particular idea. And I think that's what he's doing. But this was a good episode. This made up for episode 2. Look at all these potential victims. That's all I can think of. It's like, who are we going for next? But this is going to be tough now. Because every time she makes a move on someone else, he's going to be breathing down her neck. And if she keeps going after him repetitively, it just raises more suspicion. Healing. Interesting. Healing. Okay, so I'm going to guess that one of our talented that we'll be going after or inquiring about next episode is going to have some semblance of a healing power, which would be a very good talent to have. Ability to heal wounds and such. Who would it be, do you wonder? Now, this entire beautiful cast of people, which one is going to have the healing capabilities? We know it's not him because he's fire. We know it's not him because he's ice. We don't know who Glasses is yet, featured prominently in the OP. Maybe... Is it going to be another one of our main cover people? Is it going to be this... What colour hair do you call that? Lightning blonde? Electric blonde? What's the name of that colour? Like that type of hair colour. The other one in the main picture, aside from Nana, Kyoya, Nanao, like this other one. Is she going to be a healer? Because it would make sense to now introduce our main group, as it were. Because it looks like she's meant to be the main group, hence why she's featured alongside like this. Nanao's featured here just to make the surprise of episode 1 work. If he wasn't in this main group, that episode 1 surprise wouldn't have worked as well as it did, I don't think. So, more than likely, I think it's going to be this other character. That's who I'm going to assume it is. If healing is referring to someone's particular talent, I'm going to assume it's her. And in that case, I don't know if she'd actually die. Unless it's one of these other generic ones that we've got. Although none of them seem to have any inkling of maybe healing. But, I don't know. We'll see. Oh boy, this was a really good episode. But we now actually have someone that is a direct rival, as it were, that can actually maybe start to be a thorn in our side. Because as much fun as it would be to have just to see how we pick apart each and every person in this area, it's also incredibly interesting to have someone directly working against it, right? Like, the whole point and the whole reason we love detective stories is because there's a detective trying to catch the murderer who's trying to outwit the detective. It's a back and forth. We don't just watch a murderer go to work and murder people and see how he does it. We don't just do that. We watch the detective try and figure it out, right? So, now that we actually have two sides of this, it's going to be interesting. But I'm not sure how much Kyoya is... Like, obviously he's suspicious of her. We know that. But I don't know how much he's going to take it as actually her being the problem. Like, how many incidents is it going to take before he comes to the conclusion that there's no other possibility than it could be her? Because right now I think he's just keeping his options open. That's how I'm interpreting it, at least. Maybe I'm a bit off base with that, but how I interpret it is that he's keeping his options open for now. He's getting closer to her, though, as I think he genuinely does want a friend. I think there is a little bit of genuineness in that, and learning what the hell a fuckboy is. But I think he's also doing it as a tactical move to find out more about her. Like, he's already expressed doubts at her mind reading, and the fact that she didn't answer him about the talent that one time just raises the suspicions more, right? But we now know his talent is invincibility. Where's the limit, though? Where is the limit in invincibility? Is it as long as he has enough time to react to activate it? Like, for instance, if I had a sniper rifle, and I just plugged him in the back of the head... Silence, so he wouldn't even hear it coming. Not that he would hear it coming, really. By the time you hear the bullet, it's already in your skull. So that doesn't matter. But would he still be able to survive that? Or is his invincibility something that can be permanently on? I don't think it can be. I think that because he saw the flames lick up, he had a split second to activate it. And he just has quick reflexes. I'm going to assume, because there has to be a limit to everyone's talent. Unless he's an exception, maybe. But yeah, this show got much, much, much more interesting now that we have him. It's honestly surprising that he's only listed as a supporting character in this on AniList. I figured he might be listed as a main based on how they seem to have introduced him. I assume we're going to be seeing him a lot more as the show goes on. But I wonder if we're going to go back to killing off another character next episode, or if we're going to introduce another character like I think they might be doing. Because someone with a healing talent, I think it's fairly easy to kill them off. All you have to do is just make sure you kill them basically instantaneously, so that they can't activate their talent. That's the only real limit. That's the only problem I foresee in killing them off. It has to be done swiftly. But surely that explosion is going to maybe cause some issues now that an explosion has just gone off in the old janitor's janitor's storage area. But I'm so glad it was an explosion. I'm so glad. I saw that. I saw it half coming. I was a little slow to get there, but I did see it. I was like, the trap was the cat. Like, why would she raise the cat otherwise? Like, so that's her trap. How would she do it from there? Then I remember he heated up the milk. I did not expect him to be unable to smell, because I did start thinking, well, would he smell the gas? But then it was revealed that he actually can't smell. Hence why he has things on expiry dates with, like, little tags where he double wraps everything. He's very conscious of the scent, because he doesn't know if it is or not. So he's just making double sure if it is, he's at least covered. Those little subtle hints are actually pretty good. And this is where the show actually shines, when it actually has these subtle hints that aren't super obvious, but are obvious enough that once you know, it's like, oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. And I feel like the Time Traveling Guys episode didn't have much of that. Like, it didn't feel as clever in the way it took him out and built him up and worked him out and things like that. This one actually had that bit more cleverness used in it, little more mind games and manipulation and such. So, I'm so happy. Like, I think people who don't give this the full 3-episode run are missing out. You need the full 3 episodes that this has just gone through to really get the show. Because the first episode, fantastic twist. Okay, there's some potential here. Second episode, relatively weak and might make you think, okay, maybe they're going to a bit of the same old stuff here, and I'm not sure how clever they can be if they keep going this route. This episode, we now have a main rival. I'm going to just say rival because it doesn't feel right to say antagonist, because I don't even know if Nana is really a true protagonist in that sense. Like, are we meant to be rooting for her to kill off all these talented people? Like, is that what we want? Or should we be rooting for... Like, here's where I think the story might end up going. I'm going to say this now and we'll see how this goes by the end of 13-episode run. But I almost feel like Kyoryu is suspicious of everything. Like, why is the faculty so ill-informed? Why is outside communication cut off? Why are people being sent to this island and then suddenly disappearing? I feel like Kyoryu is going to be helping Nana realize that what she's doing is being controlled by the higher-ups, that this is not what should be done, and help turn her against the higher-ups who are the true villains of this society. And maybe that's the way they're going to go around it. That's how I almost envision this story going. Whether we can get there in 13 episodes or not, I don't know. But yeah. I feel like Glasses is going to have... he's going to have quite a major impact. He featured somewhat prominently in the OP as well. So I'm curious to see where he slots into this. I'm curious where a lot of these characters slot into this. But yeah, very good episode. Much more into it than I was this last one. What are FAE bombs? Thermobaric weapons. Fuel air explosive is the best known type of thermobaric weapons. Explosive that uses oxygen from surrounding air to generate a high temperature explosion. In practice, the blast wave typically produced by such weapons is of significantly longer duration than produced by conventional convinced explosives. Okay. Cool, okay. How old are these weapons, roughly? Yeah, thermobaric, derived from Greek for heat and pressure, makes sense. Container of fuel, 2 separate explosive charges. First space charge burst opens the container at a predetermined height and disperses the fuel, also possibly ionizing it, depending on whether a fused quartz... blah, blah, blah. First developed by the US for use in Vietnam. Okay. And then the Soviets obviously immediately got theirs. Apparently they were used against China, but, you know, who knows. Currently, Russia forces wield a wide array of third-generation FAE warheads, okay. So the kill mechanism against Living Tide unique and unpleasant. What kills is the pressure wave, and more importantly, the subsequent rarefaction or vacuum, which ruptures the lungs. Ooh. Victims are severely burned will probably also inhale the burning fuel. Highly toxic. Yeah. Ugh. Not a great thing to be in anywhere near the range of. Russia and Syrian governments are using thermobaric bombs and munitions during the Syrian civil war. Right, that's still ongoing, isn't it? The Syrian civil war. That's a long civil war. God knows how long that's going to take to. I mean, God, it's such a mess. The Middle East is a mess. I don't mind saying that because, my God, I don't think the West getting involved has really helped either, to be honest, but whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. So they're talking about thermobaric fuel air explosive weapons. Got it. Cool. And they leveled a city with one. It's a pretty nasty bomb. Anyway, this is not atomic. I guess that's the saving grace. That it's not an atomic weapon, I guess. I mean, saving grace when it comes to comparing munitions. Like, that's a weird thing. Anyway, much better episode. Very much enjoyed that one. Leave a like if you did as well. Very much helps the channel grow. As does leaving your comments. Let me know what you think of now a potential ongoing conflict, if you can call it that, between Kyoya and Nana. I think this is where the show really has its strength now, is now that we actually have a more established character that can kind of oppose her and keep her on her toes a little more and force her to become more clever, more manipulative in the ways that she dispatches of people to try and obscure it from him, because he's going to be investigating this a lot. He hasn't done any work into looking into Time Traveler Boy, right? He hasn't done anything of that, so maybe that will come up next time as well. But I guess we'll wait and see what happens, if we even mention Time Traveler at all. Or if she got away with that one completely scot-free. Like, they know he's missing, but they don't quite know what's happened to him yet. And Kyoya hasn't quite cottoned on to that one yet either, so that'll be interesting. But don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the full 2020 lineup you can find on my channel. Thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, see you guys later.